Welcome to the pathology class. So today we are continuing with the chapter of malnutrition and deficiency diseases. So today is the last session we are dealing with. So in part 1 and part 2 we have discussed about protein allergy malnutrition definition and contrasting features of Kwashiorkor and marasmus. And in part 2 we have discussed about a condition resulting from vitamin deficiency where we have discussed about fat soluble vitamins. And today in part 3, the final part of malnutrition and deficiency diseases, we are discussing about condition resulting from vitamin deficiency where we are concentrating on water soluble vitamins. So first we are having is vitamin C deficiency. The lesions produced by vitamin C deficiencies in food or as a conditional deficiency result in scurvy. So the lesions and clinical manifestation of scurvy are seen more commonly at two peak ages, that is in early childhood and in the very aged group. So we are having like anemia, gingival swelling, skin rash, scorbutic rosary, delayed wound healing, ecchymosis, subperiosteal hematoma, hemathosis, and bow leg. Going one by one, we have something called as a hemorrhagic diathesis. A marked undisturbed bleeding is characteristic of scurvy. This may due to deficiency of intracellular cement which holds together the cells of capillary endothelium. There may be hemorrhages in skin, mucous membrane, gums, muscles, joints, and underneath periosteum. The second lesion, that is a skeletal lesions we are having because of vitamin C deficiency. Those are like the changes are more prone in growing children. The most prominent changes is the deranged formation of osteoid matrix and not deranged mineralization. Growing tubules bones as well as flat bones are affected. The epiphyseal ends of growing long bones have cartilage cells in rows which normally undergo provisional mineralization. Third consequences because of vitamin C deficiency is delayed wound healing. So there is a delayed wound healing in the scurvy mainly because of the deranged collagen synthesis, poor preservation and maturation of fibroblast, and the localization of infection in the wounds. Fourth one, that is anemia, is very common in case of scurvy. It may be because of hemorrhage, interference with the formation of folic acid, or deranged iron metabolism. So accordingly, the anemia is most often normocytic, normochromic type. Occasionally, it may be megaloblastic or even iron deficiency anemia. Lesions in teeth and gum, we see that is scurvy may interfere with the development of dentine, where there is a gum and soft swollen may bleed readily and get infected very commonly. So the oral cavity, especially the teeth and gums, are very prone for such type of changes. As far the skin is concerned, we have hyperkeratoid and follicular rash may occur in the scurvy. Next, going for the vitamin B complex diseases or deficiencies producing lesions. So going one by one, we have bunch of vitamin B complex. First, the lesions in thiamine, that is vitamin B1. Thiamine deficiency can occur from primary or conditional causes, chronic alcoholism being an important cause for the thiamine deficiency disorders. The deficiency states leads to failure of complete combustion of carbohydrate and accumulation of pyric acid in the body. This results in beriberi, which produces lesions at three target tissues, that is peripheral nerves, heart and brain. Accordingly, the beriberi is divided into three different types, that is dry beriberi, which pertain to peripheral neuritis, wet beriberi, where it is cardiac manifestations are present, and last one, that is a third one, that is cerebral beriberi, where we are talking about Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, where there is an involvement of brain is there. So going one by one, it is a dry beriberi, where there is a peripheral neuritis is there. This is marked by neuromuscular symptoms such as weakness, paresthesia, and sensory loss. The nerve shows polyneuritis, myelin degeneration, and fragmentation of axons. The wet beriberi, that is, we see mainly the cardiac manifestation. This is characterized by cardiovascular involvement, generalized edema, serous effusion, and chronic passive congestion of the viscera. The heart in beriberi is flabby due to the thin and weak myocardium, and large and globular in appearance due to four-chamber dilatation. Microscopically, when we see the microscopic examination of heart shows hydropic degeneration of myocardial fibers, loss of striation, interstitial edema, and lymphocytic filtration. The last one, third one, that is cerebral beriberi. It consists of two things, that is Wernicke's encephalopathy and Korsakoff's psychosis. That's why it is known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. So the Wernicke's encephalopathy occurs more often due to conditional deficiencies such as in chronic alcoholism, and we characterize this as a degeneration of ganglion cells, focal demyelination, and hemorrhage in the nucleus surrounding the region of ventricles and aqueduct. Microscopically, the examination shows degeneration and necrosis of neurons, hypertrophy, hyperplasia of small blood vessels, and hemorrhages. As of the Korsakoff psychosis, which results from persistence of psychotic features following brain hemorrhage in the Wernicke's encephalopathy. Next, going for vitamin B2 deficiency, that is riboflavin, we have lesions like ocular lesions, which consist of vascularization of normal avascular cornea due to proliferation of capillaries from the limbus. So there is a subsequent changes like conjunctivitis, interstitial keratitis, and corneal ulcers may develop because of this vascularization. Next, we have something called as a cheliolosis and angular stomatitis are a characteristic by occurrence of fissures and cracks at the angles of the mouth. We have something called as again glossitis, which is developed of red, cyanosed and shiny tongue due to the atrophy of mucosa of the tongue, that is we known as bald tongue. Fourth, lesions, that is some of the skin lesions also appear in the form of scaly dermatitis resembling seborrheic dermatitis on nasolabial folds of the face, scrotum and vulva. Anemia may develop in some cases, but it is not so prominent in vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin 3, B3, that is niacin. The lesions produced by niacin deficiencies cause pellagra, so named because of the especially the rough skin of the patient, where the italical nomenclature pellagra, which means the rough skin. The lesions in pellagra we have described in form of 3D, that is first is the dermatitis. The exposure to sun area of the skin develop erythema resembling sunburn. This may progress to chronic type of dermatitis in blister formation. Next we have is something called as a diarrhea, that is a second D. The lesions similar to those seen in the skin may develop in mucous membrane of alimentary tract resulting in glossitis, lesion in the mouth, esophagus, stomach and colon, and cause diarrhea, nausea, vomiting and burning sensation. Third D, that is dementia, degeneration of neurons of the brain and of spinal tract results in neurological symptoms such as dementia, peripheral neuritis, ataxia, and visual and auditory disturbances. Then deficiency of vitamin B6, that is pyridoxine. The lesions produced by the pyridoxines, that is vitamin B6 deficiency, may result from inadequate dietary intake or may result from secondary deficiencies such as increased demand in pregnancy and lactation, chronic alcoholism, and intake of certain drugs like ionized in the treatment of tuberculosis, penicillamine, estrogen in oral contraceptives may produce this deficiency. The lesions includes like conversions in the infant born to mother who had been administered large doses of vitamin B6 for hyperemesis gravidum, dermatitis and seborrhea, culosis and angular stomatitis, glossitis, neuropathy, depression and confusion, sideroblastic anemia. Lesions in biotin deficiency. The biotin deficiency is rare and develops due to the inborn errors of metabolism and in patient on parental nutrient divide of biotin. The lesions which produced by biotin deficiency are mental and neurological symptoms such as hallucination, depression, paresthesia, anorexia, nausea, scaly seborrheic dermatitis. In infants, hypotonia, alopecia, and rash near the ears. Next, last one, that is a lesions in choline deficiency. Choline deficiency develops in patients on choline-free parental nutrients. That is, the lesions produced by this is fatty liver with deranged liver enzymes and the skeletal muscles damage with elevated CPK levels. So this is all about malnutrition and deficiency diseases. Here we are ending with the chapter of malnutrition and deficiency disorder. Thank you.